Hi guys, welcome to a special video about the Bridge International Championships which happened last week. The finals are over and we can watch the final rankings as well. We can go through some of my tournaments. I will show you how I did and I will share with you my personal feelings about this tournament, what I have done and what I have learned while playing this. So in general, this tournament consists of two phases. So there was a qualification where you just needed to play only 5 tournaments and you need the average over 56%, and that I find something which is really interesting, because you can play more than 5. You can play like 10 if you are not doing well. So if you are a mediocre player but you still want to try and to push to get over 56% average, then you could have played up to 100 tournaments. So there was a lot of players who could participate and get to the finals. And that's the difference, because the qualification is pay to play. So every tournament costed 25 diamonds, which is a little bit more than €1, I think, which is definitely a reasonable price to participate in such an event for like 5 to 10 euros if you play more tournaments. It was enough for me to participate with 5. I played like 2 extra, a little bit for fun and to improve my average, since I have made one really terrible score, which you can see here if I move myself a little bit. So I started with 39% and then I had like 4 good scores, and see that I didn't improve my average later on. So still I had a little bit fun. So I find this concept of qualification and finals really good. Everybody has a chance to get to the finals, and there has been a big change from the previous version, which happened last year, where you had 5 tournaments and the 3 best scores were counted to your average. And well, I don't like it that much, because well, first of all, it really depended when you play, because if you played at the beginning, then people were playing reasonably, trying to get 3 good scores, and then later on with 2 extra they tried to gamble to improve their average. The concept of this championships was different, and there were 10 tournaments of 8 boards, and you had to play all of them to get into the final ranking, and the average was counted from all 10. And that is really tough. First of all, there were only 2 days for playing this event. I think it was a little bit short. On the other hand, playing with Argent is way faster, or with the computer, but if you are really thinking about that, 80 boards during 2 days can be quite a lot for the players. Still, you see that every tournament was played about the same, so like 100, a little bit more than 100 players played each tournament, so there was no or very low chance that someone will be cheating here, which is great. So I like that idea. On the other hand, still I'm missing that fact that everybody plays the same boards, so then you can really compare those 10 tournaments, or then you might count 8 of 10, which you can see from my scores that will do way better, because at the end, at the beginning, I had like really good 6 tournaments when I played on Saturday morning, and then like after that, when I just started, I have 2 really bad scores, which I will show you very soon. And after that, I played in the evening, and then I played on Sunday, and then the boards I was not concentrated enough, and because of one bad round I was a little bit frustrated that I cannot fight for the top, although it was still possible to be in the top 10, which will be an amazing score in this really good field. So see that, well, the tournament number 7 with 38% and the last tournament with 41%. That these two tournaments just killed my chances for a good score. So let's watch the world ranking, where I took like 93rd place with an average of 66.67%. If we go completely to the bottom, which might take some time because there's no arrow to go to the bottom, and I don't think that there's free. Okay, here we go. Here we have more players, so 464 and so on. We can push. It takes a little bit extra time since there were plenty of players. Okay, doesn't want me to push any further, but see that here the average is still 612 and the average of 46%. There were players who scored less. Okay, maybe we will get the full list loaded, but you have an idea that there can be around 800 players, maybe a bit more participating, but these are the top players. So Pikarek as Steve the Donder, 65.79%. He's a stable fun bridge player, always in the top. Benicio here also like around 65%, which is amazing. Per Olakalin and Antonia Palma fighting with Mikael Rimstead. Those three players were also in the previous run fighting for the top places and pushing the average in the qualification somewhere incredible, around 80% score, which is great. And scoring around 64 or above 64, that's a great score. See how small differences there might be on the podium. There 0.03% is the difference between Benicio and Perola as Poken 1, 2, 3. And then we have others. So after 6 tournaments, I had an average around 62%, which I hope that I will manage. But yeah, well, for that you should play focused, and this is where I want to get to the point why I failed after the middle of the tournament. First of all, there is the motivation which have to drive you a little bit, that you want to play for the top, but well, a little bit of the reason why you might not do that well, especially in these long runs, is when you have a bad round to get back on the right track, because having the top goals can be both motivating but also quite stressing, and you can play your best bridge while you are relaxed and you are having fun. And in combination on that, to play 80 boards during the weekend where actually you have a lot of other things to do because you're playing on a computer, and it's a big difference, because you might have distraction there and you might be not completely focused. And that's the biggest difference if you are playing on a live event or if you are playing online. The level of concentration is definitely different. And I think my fault was a mistake that I was not recording the videos, because while I'm doing those analyses, while I'm making all the counting for high card points distribution in every single board, then you have really good scores, because you spot the small options, how to steal a trick there and there, how to find the best way, how to bid the hand. And while you have to play 80 boards through 2 days, well, you cannot, or you are not willing to put that amount of energy to every single board. And that was basically my mistake, that I was playing pretty fast because, well, we had some family visiting and stuff, so it was not possible for me to concentrate enough. and that's where I lost the concentration in the second phase of the tournament. But also in the first run, usually each tournament I made one mistake which I might not have done if I fought through, and the average might be not 62 but 64, and you see that this is a huge difference at the end. If I just go through to my friends list, then of course with Perola and Antonio, I don't have them there, but with Picarek, Benicio and Mike, of course they're leading, but then there is Nikos, Luke, and the best player for the Czech Republic and winning the Czech ranking is Ondra Kasztowski as Kasztanek, who is still a junior with an average of 60%, which is amazing. Lucka, also a junior with 58%. Great scores for these two. Jirka is doing very often well here on FunBridge, so he's playing a lot of boards, so have beaten me as well. And yeah, well, I'm quite sad that I'm fourth, but I'm cheering for those juniors who did really well and deserve their thousands of diamonds, because I think it's 1,500 and 300 or something like that for the top 3 players. So that's great for them. Now let's have a closer look while I had such a bad start, because these two boards I played after I played 6 tournaments, and for the first one it's where I made my biggest mistake, and since this one it just went kind of downhill. So let's replay this board and see what happened there. Okay, so you have a reasonable hand of 11 counts, but with queens still I decided to open a spade, which is kind of okay with match points, no one vulnerable, that you just show your hand. Partner raised you with the strongest possible raise, and with 4 spades you just show that you have a bad hand. But what you need to do well is the card play, because right now it seems pretty okay that I don't have a club loser. I have only 1 diamond loser, 1 heart loser, and maybe a spade loser. So this is something about making or having plus. Oh, what happened? Okay, I have to rebid myself, because since I refreshed it just went all over again. So if the spade finesse is working, then it might be an overtrick or making. So I don't know if we get a card from East or not. Hopefully we do. But in general, right now you try the spade finesse and you lose. You lose the trick, and if they play the spade back or a club back, then you have to make those guesses in the red suits. And where you want to try actually is the diamonds, because on 3 diamonds, if they split 3-3 or the jack drops doubleton, then you might actually dump all 3 hearts on diamonds. And that's what I tried on this board. After drawing the trumps ending in north, I played a low diamond, and since East didn't jump with the king, okay, let's try to restart with a card play only, and maybe we'll get there, because obviously with the bidding, East doesn't want to play cards, so we might not get a replay, which is quite strange. So probably some bug. But in general, if you play a low diamond towards the 10, West wins with the king and switches to a club. So first he switches to spade, then he switches to club. You are forced to ruff and then play the diamonds towards the queen, which works. But right now, if you play the heart towards the ace and catch the ace of diamonds, you find out that the diamonds are not splitting and that the jack is not dropping. So you discard 1 heart, and then you have to play the heart towards the queen 10. And yeah, here lies your luck. So do you guess right? Do you play the 10 or do you play the queen? And based on all the other cards, you don't have any information from the bidding, but you might get some information from the card play, where West had the king of spades, he had the king of diamonds, he had the jack of clubs. So yeah, still, I don't know, it's about 50-50 guess at this point, and I guessed wrong while playing the 10, so Ease did well to duck with his king of diamonds. With the king of hearts. So I went one down and had a really poor score. The other way how I could have done is to win, play the spade towards the queen and winning the second spade, and playing the queen of diamonds or actually playing the queen of hearts. Then just for making this contract, the difference is 57%. If you make an over trick where you need to be really lucky, but 57% would be like an okay score for that one. But then the next board came. And this is where I hope that it will be possible to replay this hand. And well, the card play might be not as much interesting as the bidding, because you get a 6-4 in the black suits after one diamond opening, and this is what I found out as one of the most difficult situations here on FunBridge, how to show like this hand, because I have an option to bid a spade, or I have an option to bid 2 clubs, I have an option to bid 3 clubs, which should be like way stronger. So for example, if I have queen of clubs extra, I would jump to 3 clubs. Well, in here I can bid 1 spade, but what to do then? You know, and that's the problematic thing. So I decided to bid 2 clubs as forcing to game in my style, and partner bids 2 hearts, which is actually showing extras, which is showing a reverse. But now what to do with my hand? So I don't have the spades which I want like to offer. We don't have a fid. So the idea might be who will be declaring. And because partner might be short in spades, I thought that it will be a little bit better that I will be declaring. So then you can bid 2 no trumps. What's the issue if you bid 2 no trumps is that partner jumps to 4 diamonds to show a 6-4 hand. So now I know that partner is short in spades and clubs. But what to do now? I don't want to end up in diamonds. I cannot offer like clubs now with 5 clubs, which is like very tough. What will happen right now? So you might be kind of screwed at this point. So I decided to bid 4 hearts. I bid 4 spades, and then North jumped to 6 diamonds and is doubled. So this is like pretty strange and tough thing, but actually since the double you can expect that the diamonds break badly, and like my hand can still make the tricks without the diamonds, and this was my mistake which I didn't take, and I passed 6 diamonds doubled where I should have corrected to 6 no trumps. First of all, it's not doubled. Second of all, it's possible to make, since if you just watch, see, and we will not be able to replay the hand completely, but you might get 6 club tricks, 2 spade tricks, 2 heart tricks, and 2 diamond tricks, which is 12. If you get only 5 club tricks, then you need the diamond finesse, which we know it's off, and see that if diamonds will split 3-3, 6 no trumps is fine as well. 6 clubs is actually the best contract, because you might just rough a spade and discard a spade on the king of diamonds and just try to play 2 clubs from top. If the 9 drops, you are fine. If the queen drops, you might even get an over trick in 6 clubs. So this was definitely the key board where I stopped playing and I had to take a break. And this is my advice: if you have 2 bad boards in a row, just stop playing, guys. And it worked pretty well, because then the next board I reached, I would say, a good reasonable slam. If we just watch here, I had a 15 count and partner opened club. I bid a diamond and partner bid a heart. So then it was kind of a piece of a cake to reach 6 hearts. And while they even led the club, then it was kind of sure that I will make this one if I managed to get the rest. Although 4-1 hearts made it a little bit tough. But I got a good score, and then the next board came. And this is where I want to replay and to show you this one. Because after 2 bad boards in the evening, I was on the good run with a top score and willing to get like back to the tournament. Because once you have 2 bad scores on 8 boards, you need like 2 or 3 good scores to get above like 50% average. And still, when you are aiming to get 62, 64%, you need way more. So you just have this standard like 8 high card points hand, nothing spectacular, and partner doubled. So what do you think is the winning action from the south hand? Yeah, well, I thought that I would just bid a spade and then 2 spades, and that would be it. Probably let them play on 3rd level. So I have bid a spade. West bid no trump, partner raised to 2 spades, which is great. But then I thought that since we have a 9 card fit, I have a singleton, we are non-vulnerable. 1 down or 2 down from 3 diamonds is good enough. And I thought that, well, they should make 3 diamonds due to my singleton king. So I have bid 3 spades. And then actually it went pass, pass, and now an absolutely unexpected bid of 4 hearts. Now, what do you do now? I mean, this guy bid a heart and then bid 3 diamonds. Just pushed. So he's a passed hand and now he's bidding 4 hearts. That is really so strange. So this is a very educational board. Once you see the strange bidding like this, Arjun didn't got crazy, but it's just the hand which Arjun couldn't show before. That's usually a goulash hand. So 2-suited goulash is actually 11 cards in 2 suits. Maybe even 10 cards in 2 suits would be enough. And see that now they might even be trying for a slam, which is like incredible. But at the end they might end up in 5 diamonds. In the real life I doubled 4 hearts because, well, I thought that partner is having some hearts. And then they went to 5 diamonds and I doubled those 5 diamond bid as well. When I doubled, partner led a heart from the 3rd king. So then I immediately lost the trick there. And then while having the king of diamonds singleton and all the clubs were discarded on the hearts, then Arjun made all 13 tricks and 5 diamonds doubled. For, well, let's say not an absolute bottom, and I even made a misclick there. So yeah, so this is what can be done. But while you will be playing 5 diamonds undoubled, that would be a 30% score. So see that you couldn't do much about that if you bid 1 spade. See that I doubled, then made a mistake. I could have saved like 3% here. Yes, which is that little bit for such a stupid mistake. But see what will happen if I would have been a little bit more aggressive and would have been preempting a bit. Because I know that I will be bidding 2 spades. And if you just show here like 2 spades is 8 to 10 and exactly 4 card, this is my suggestion, guys. Stop reading those meanings. If it is not like a special convention, if it is a natural way of bidding, Arjun is understanding what you are doing, and you will be way more successful if you just don't follow the instructions or the description what is here in the pane, because it's very tough to make all the descriptions right with a reasonable natural bidding. And this is where I think that I wanted to bid 2 spades, but while I read it, that it's only 4 card, 8 to 10, I have a little bit different hand. Well, but at the end, not that much. The 1 extra trump does not matter. Well, 8 high card points, let's say I have, but I don't have the tricks. But then if you bid 2 spades, north bid 3 spades, and east just relaxed and passed, which is incredible because he has like a amazing hand of a 6-5 distribution. And in free spades you just make or you win an extra trick if you manage to find the jack of spades. And the difference here, if you just play free spades and you make, is 79 or 82%. Only 7 players managed to do that. So see, or well, 9 players played in free spades. So see that it's not like that standard that everybody just bids a spade or just doubles again or do something else, or east-west is bidding. And these are the huge differences because of this hand I didn't have the chance to have a good score, and I knew that with 38% score I cannot think anymore to be in the top 5 to have an average like over 63%. So then my motivation dropped after this tournament, and see that I have finished the tournament with another 50, 40 and 32%, which was not great. See, while defending opponents' contracts where you very hardly can do something well, and that end up being the bad thing for my final score, because then I couldn't just get there. Well, but in general, for the conclusion, I really liked it. My change will be that I will add an extra day for those. Maybe even add like 2 extra tournaments and count 10 out of 12 tournaments maybe. Because I really like that a lot of boards makes the final average, and like not having a possibility of subtract like 1 bad tournament or 2 bad tournaments when you are playing live, when you are playing not live but online, that feels really tough for the concentration. Because if I would have knew that this tournament is crossed out, if I would have knew that the 51% tournament can be crossed out, then I really could have fought for the average a little bit higher. So yeah, I would really love that, like 12 tournaments within 3 days, where you can play like 4 tournaments per day, which I think is good enough for 24 boards a day. Maybe even making those single tournaments longer, so maybe play 10 tournaments of 10 boards, but subtract 2 of them to have a really high high number of boards. So yeah, but in general, great event, and I'm looking forward to the next one, and hope that I will learn and be in the better state where I can focus on playing bridge. And that's what makes it fun for all of us, to try to compete in something which is from the beginning not clear what it is. And that's while bridge is different from the other games like chess, go on stuff where you have the basic setup done. Every deal is a new adventure. So I wish you guys a lot of luck, and hope that you are enjoying all your adventures in your life. So thank you guys for watching, and mainly thanks to all these sponsors for supporting my YouTube channel and these videos, that I can bring them to you. And this week you can look forward to the Tuesday and Thursday live stream. As usual, on Wednesday there will come the reward challenge against the Czech Federation tournament winner, and as usual during the weekend, Thursday to Sunday, you can participate at the Czech Federation tournaments. Bye guys.